Welcome, everyone, and thanks so much for coming out. This is an amazing turnout and an amazing event. My name is Lisa Hainig. I'm the director of the Ypsilanti District Library, and it's my true pleasure to welcome you to the groundbreaking celebration for the new Superior Library. I want to welcome also those who are joining us via live stream, and I want to really thank Bank of Ann Arbor for generously sponsoring the live stream of this event. We're happy to have you all here with us today. This is a huge milestone for so many reasons. It's been a really long journey since Superior Township joined the Library District in 2006 to get us to this day. I can't really even believe it. I can't express to you how complicated it's been, but we are here, and that's what matters. It's been a long, crazy past year, but despite COVID, this gathering today in this absolutely amazing spring weather is a ray of hope. And this building is going to stand as a symbol of hope and community moving forward, and we can't wait to bring it to you. We'd hoped to have the Ypsilanti Community Schools drumline here with us today to kind of drum up some excitement and welcome everyone and perform, but because of the in-person school being canceled this week, they could not be here with us. So I want to say thank you to them for being willing, and we miss you, and stay safe. Likewise, for everyone in attendance today, please be safe, wear your mask, practice social distancing. There are wipes and hand sanitizer up at the tent if you need them. I want to thank all of the elected officials who've joined us today. I know many of them that are here, but I think some may have snuck in on me. We have with us today Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, Representative Ronnie Peterson is here. We have from the Washtenaw County Commission, Administrator Greg Dill and Commissioner Jason Morgan. Ypsilanti Township Supervisor Brenda Stumbo is with us. And we have Superior Township Supervisor Ken Schwartz, Clerk Lynette Findley, Treasurer Brenda McKinney, and I think we have the whole township board with us. Trustees Lisa Lewis, Nancy Caviston, Bernice Lindkey, and Rhonda McGill. Are there any other elected officials that I missed? I want to acknowledge you if you're here. Jeff Irwin is here, yay! All right. Hello to Caroline Sanders from the Washtenaw County Commission. Justin Hodge from the County Commission is here too, I am told. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate your presence. I want to point out next our tireless project architect, Mr. Dan Whistler of Daniels and Zermatt Architects. If you haven't already, before you leave, be sure to check out the renderings that Dan brought and put on the display over here to the side. This building is going to be really terrific. We have lots of things to share with you, and I think you'll be delighted when you see what we're planning to do. Our construction manager is O'Neill Construction, and again, thank you so much to Matt Ratzow and the whole team from O'Neill that helped us with logistics today. We really appreciate your help. I want to say a huge thank you to our partners from Superior Township Administration. I think that they will agree that I had to work a little bit to earn their trust when I came on board. But since that time, our work together has been absolutely wonderful, and we're making things happen. I want to especially thank them for the gift of this land that we are all standing on today. We closed on this property a week ago, and here we are. The township has helped us overcome hurdle after hurdle through the planning of this project because they understand what a public library can be and what a public library can do for its community. And we're going to make good on this promise. I must also recognize all of the members of our library board, both the current members and the past members, because the Great Recession put everything on hold for us for a really long time, as far as this project goes, but their support and their vision for a full-service library in Superior Township never wavered. When they hired me back in 2015, they charged me with two big things. They said, we want you to bring the library back to fiscal health, and we really want to build a new library at last in Superior Township. I personally, some of you know this, have lived in Superior since 1996. My house is over there. I can walk here. And as a resident and also as a librarian, this project is really, really dear to my heart. I'm going to have very brief remarks today, but I'm going to quote two different Carnegies. Dale Carnegie said, "Flaming enthusiasm backed up with horse sense and persistence is the quality which most frequently makes for success." And I think anybody who knows me will tell you that I am definitely enthusiastic. I am practical to a T, and I will not give up. So this is happening. We are doing it. So I need to also really thank the library staff whose creativity and drive to serve the community virtually and safely all throughout the pandemic. They've just been amazing, and this means a whole lot to them too. They've been waiting a long time for this day, and I could not be more proud of them. Thank you, staff. And thank you to the many organizations that have contributed financially to help us make this dream a reality. The Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs, the Washtenaw County Commission, Fifth Third Bank, Bank of Ann Arbor, the EMU Credit Union, the Herrick Foundation, the Towsley Foundation, the Ann Arbor Farm and Garden Club, and the Young Family Foundation. We really appreciate you. And thank you to our individual donors so far as well. A number of you are here with us today. We so appreciate your support. This means a lot. But most of all, I want to thank our community. First of all, thank you for using your library. It makes a big difference in the citizenry and what we can do together. And thank you for voting to support your library. Back in 2018, you passed YDL's millage proposal overwhelmingly. It was more than a two-thirds margin victory. And the affirmation of what we do and what we're trying to do here on this site, it meant more than I can say to you. It kept us moving forward when there seemed to be obstacles at every turn. The library belongs to you. It exists for you. It's your library. And here comes that second quote, this time from Andrew Carnegie. He said, "A library outranks any other one thing a community can do to benefit its people. It is a never-failing spring in the desert." Thank you all for recognizing that and giving this gift to future generations of Superior Township and Ypsilanti District Library residents. So we are here in the midst of a pandemic, right? So we didn't want to touch the microphone a whole lot and make a whole bunch of microphone changes. So I am going to introduce our remaining speakers all right now, very briefly, and then one at a time in the order that I am announcing them, they will come up and say a few words to you. So after their remarks, we're going to pick up these ceremonial shovels and wear our funky hard hats and actually break ground on the library to be. So first speaker following me today is Ken Schwartz, and he is a supervisor here in Superior Township. He's been in that job since 2013. When I was hired as library director in 2015, he told me that despite some past animosity between the library and the township, he'd like to start with a clean slate. I can't thank him enough for that. That initial olive branch and his vision for improving our township is part of what eventually brought us here. So Ken's going to have a few words in a moment. Our second speaker will be Jean Winborn. Jean Winborn is currently the president of the Ypsilanti District Library Board of Trustees. Jean has served on the board since 2008. She's a Superior Township resident. She lives over that way. A retired educator, a successful grant writer, a grandma, and an avid genealogist. And together with another one of our board members, Kay Williams, Jean has been a force in keeping the torch burning for this new Superior Library. So I'm sure she'll have some nice remarks as well. Next, you will hear from Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. She's been the U.S. representative for Michigan's 12th district since 2015. She's a recognized national advocate for women and children, and she has actively worked to focus HUD's attention on the needs of our neighbors at Sycamore Meadows. We are absolutely delighted to have her join us on this very special occasion. Next, you'll hear from David Rutledge. David is a former state representative. He's a neighborhood resident too. He's a special friend to this project. During the Great Recession, this little bit of animosity that I mentioned, he facilitated a dialogue between the library and the township to help keep the peace. He's been a listening ear ever since, and he has a special place in his heart for both libraries and education. So we're really glad to have him with us. And our final speaker today, last but not least, will be Alea Hurd. Alea is a sixth grader at South Point Scholars. Her whole family have been longtime patrons of our Little Superior Branch Library down the street, and she participates in our book groups and many other library activities. We're simply thrilled that she has some remarks to share with us today to close this out. And then once all of our speakers wrap up, I'm going to welcome up here all of the board members from the library and the Superior Township Board, and we will get out these ceremony shovels and actually break ground, getting the construction phase of this project officially underway. So thanks again for joining us. And this is amazing. This weather, this day, this crowd. Thank you so much. Ken Schwartz.
Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Well, I just want to make one correction to what Lisa said. She said that the township gifted this land to the library. Actually, we sold it for $1. When I went to the closing, the dollar wasn't there. I told Ronnie Peterson. He said he's going to come up with $1 today. So thank you, Ronnie. So I just want to take a moment, as Lisa did, to thank the Superior Township Board and the Superior Township Park Commission, both of which were invaluable to this project. The board and the commission enthusiastically supported this project from its inception in 2015, and we generously donated for $1 the 4.22 acres you see here, and we rezoned the property for library use. We reduced the building permit fees. We supported the library millage, and we will join with Ypsilanti District Library in funding the improvements to Harris Road, which are going to be required by the Road Commission. In addition, we're working with the county, the Road Commission, DTE to improve the safety at the intersection of Harris and MacArthur. I also want to take a minute to thank the people of Ypsilanti Township and Ypsilanti City for supporting the last millage election, which made this day possible. So thank you, Brenda. If the mayor's here, thank you. One person I really want to recognize who I think was probably the most invaluable person over time to make this project a success is Kay Williams. Kay is former township clerk. She's now on the library board, and she has pushed this from day one. She's never let up, and we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Kay. You know, the benefits of this library at this location, they're just really too numerous to mention. But let me say this. This library will be a repository of knowledge, calm, and peace. We have many kids and adults in this area that need a boost in their education and training so they can fully participate in their education, the economy, and the community. The library is a promise from the people of this community to all citizens that wish to exercise their brains, improve their minds, and expand their spirit. Moreover, this branch will provide almost unlimited opportunity for pupils on the other side of the digital divide to use computers and reference material, which they really don't have access to now. It will be an oasis of peace and mindfulness so young minds can concentrate on learning. And with computer use comes the application of logical reasoning, which is the key to understanding the world, the universe, our community, and human nature. So Lisa and other honored guests, I'm privileged to be the supervisor of Superior Township at this propitious time and having the pleasure to work with so many wonderful people across many jurisdictions and communities to bring this beacon of learning and safety to the people of Superior Township. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. This is a huge day for all of us. I am so pleased to see everyone. I would like to welcome and thank the following people. The Honorable David Rutledge, our former state representative, the Honorable Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, Superior Township Supervisor Ken Schwartz, and the Township Board, the Parks Department. A very special thanks to Lisa Hornig, our District Library Director, and the staff. The District Library Board, Dan Whistler of Daniels and Zermatt, the architects, O'Neill Construction, the donors, the voters, and I would like to especially thank Kay Williams and Brenda McKinney. Today, thank you, because they were here from the beginning. Yep. Well, I was too, but they were also. Today we're here to celebrate the opening of this new Superior Library. And I would like to take a minute to share with you a little bit about me. And this will help you to understand what this library means to me and what it means to the community. I was born and raised in Ann Arbor in 1950. I had two amazing parents. Both my parents and grandparents were sharecroppers from Brownsville, Tennessee. Both my parents had grade school education. They migrated to Ann Arbor in the 40s. In the South, they weren't allowed to vote, nor could they check out books at their town's library. I had 6 siblings, all college graduates, 3 with master's degrees, 2 from the University of Michigan, 1 before affirmative action. My parents used to speak to me in parables. You know what a parable is? It's a story that teaches you a lesson. My dad once taught me the meaning of Sula, Toni Morrison's book, by relating those experiences to his in the South. So one day after coming home from graduate school and dropping my books on their front porch, I had a big sigh. My dad looked at me and says, "I wonder if they can teach an old man like me how to read." You see, my father couldn't read. I didn't know that. He did some, I thought, incredible, crazy things, like making us go buy him a newspaper every day and reading it to him. And I always wondered why we had to read the headlines. Why couldn't he read it? I never thought about it until he said that. He went on to adult education. I taught him how to drive. My mother was a housekeeper for G. Menon Williams. You know Sophie Williams, the governor of Michigan? She also said he was a really nice man. And I was going, oh, Mom, that's something. She worked for Sophie Williams. She also worked for 2 people called Mr. and Mrs. Beale. Their house was located at 343 South Avenue, 5th Avenue. It's 1 street over from where we lived. And the house is no longer there. But what replaced it was the downtown Ann Arbor Library. The Beals had an electric car, which my sister said she rode in. My mother told me about the Beals. I'm passing this story on several times. I've passed it on, and I'm going to tell it again because I think this is an appropriate place to tell it again. I did a little research, being a genealogist, on Mr. Beale. He was well known in Ann Arbor. He was born in Port Huron in 1860, and he was the editor for the Ann Arbor Weekly Courier and the Daily Times. He was a manager of Ann Arbor Electric Company, Light Company. He was a member of the Ann Arbor Board of Education. He was a state legislator in Michigan and the House of Representatives, and he was also a regent at the University of Michigan. Mr. Bill was dying, so he called my mother to his bedside, and he told her he'd hid some money under his front gate, and he wanted her to have it. As my mother is telling me the story, I'm anxiously looking and waiting for her to tell us that we're rich and the money was in the bank. Well, instead she said, if they caught me digging in front of Mr. Bill's house, it would probably have landed me in jail. I said, okay, Mom, what happened? She said, well, when they tore his house down, they built the library, they found the money, and they built the library. Every Friday, we used to go there and check out books. I know now what that lesson was about. It was the importance of libraries, books, and learning, and that was all the money I'd ever need. Lastly, one more story. I'm a great aunt, yes, unbelievable, and my niece Sherry drives by this place every day, picking up her granddaughter and taking her home. And Aaliyah says, look, Grandma, over there, they're building a library, and I can go there and check out books. And I say, yes, you can, Aaliyah. You can come here and have fun. You can play with your friends. You can use the computers, and you can enjoy the rest of the community. Thank you so much for building this library. I so appreciate everybody coming, and those were my lessons from my parents. Thank you.
So I'm going to keep my mask on because we got to remember we're in a surge and everybody's got to keep being careful. And even though I've been vaccinated, I know we got to be careful, and that's the first thing I want to say. Ken, I want to give you the $1. Not that I don't trust Ronnie, but I want this to be sure. He can pay me back, or he can pay you. So I'm going to give this to you. Here you go, Ken. But I want to say, Jean, following you is like, Jean told it all about why it's important. And to the team, the staff here, that the perseverance, the tenacity, the never giving up to bring you here today. And may a year from now, may we all be here when the library opens. But what I stood here listening to people talk about a little of the tension, and I think we got to quit looking at the past. There's been too much division in this country, and this is an example of what happens when community comes together. They find that there's more that brings them together that pushes them apart. And this library is going to be here for our children to the seniors, for everybody to use. And it's what happens when people come together to make something good happen. I'm so honored to be here with all the elected officials. Ken is a fabulous supervisor. I'm looking at Brenda McKinney. The two Brendas, Brenda Stumbo, are two of my best friends. Jeff Irwin, I still haven't seen Ronnie, but I know that he's here. The trustees, you all have good, oh, there's Ronnie. He's hiding back there. But you have people who really care, and you don't know how lucky you are. But you know, nobody's talked about the importance of doing this groundbreaking during National Library Week, which this week is. And Jean, your parents said it so well, but as I was preparing my remarks, which I'm now not using because you were so eloquent, they would have sounded horrific, but I found myself, I went to the library every Friday too as a kid, and I couldn't wait to take out those books. They opened the world to me. I read so many stories and learned so many things, and I still read. It's the only way when I go to bed at night that I can sleep. I need to escape in a good book or novel. And even from a good spy mystery, I learn about history or what's happening in the world. Reading keeps us informed our entire life. But you know, both here and Belleville have been building new libraries. And do you know how important that is? Libraries are not extinct. Libraries are not something that people used to go to. They give access. They put people on an even and common ground. It lets kids come on a rainy day or a sunny day to hear stories, to meet other young people, but to learn and to feel that sense of belonging and getting lost and escaping in a good story. Learning to read. They learn how to read and they learn about the world as they're there. But a library has the internet. It gives people it's a sin in this country that everybody doesn't have equal access to internet and broadband. But this library will give those who don't have it that opportunity. This means so much to this community. It will make it such a richer community. And everybody here is part of the community that is making this a reality. So to the children that'll benefit from this, you're so lucky. But I know there'll be 90-year-olds here that are using it too, and a lot of us in between. And it's a place that'll be here for a long time, enhancing the life of not only Superior Township, but Ypsi Township, Washtenaw County. And it happened because people cared. And they knew if they kept at it, they could make a difference in the community that they lived in. Thank you to each and every one of you for making a dream a reality.
Just a tiny bit. This is so special to me, not just the occasion, but this is like a homecoming because I see so many people that I've interacted with over the years. I was so happy to hear Congresswoman Dingle talk about the fact that this groundbreaking happens to occur in National Library Week. And it's not lost on me that that's special that happens, this is happening right now. Representative Peterson, you keep that dollar, hang on to that dollar for just a wee bit longer. We may need it further down the line in other cases. But look, I want to take you back because in just a few moments, the people are going to step over and they're going to break ground for the future here. But this future is happening now, but its birth took place many, many years ago. I want to briefly tell you the story. Sitting in the Township Hall in 1983, Township supervisor then, and people would pop in and they'd sit down and start talking. One day, guy popped in, and in the conversation, he casually said, you know, the original Township Hall still exists. I said, wow, you're kidding me. Where is it located? And he said, it's north on Cherry Hill Road, sitting in a gravel pit. I said, you're kidding me. I want to see this. Now, then I walked next door to Kay Williams's office, mentioned to her this story, and she said, I'm going to see it too. We saw this building. Now, the township was established in 1833. Not sure when the original town hall was built, but there it sat. You being used as a shelter for tools and stuff. Kay Williams said, you know what we ought to do? We ought to bring that township hall to this current township site. Now I'm telling you, it took a lot of doing, but that happened on a Saturday. If you can believe, we got a lot of partners came to help. Guy came with his and put things up under the old town hall, rolled it out of the pit and down Cherry Hill Road. And I'm telling you, it was more people than are here now followed that town hall. It was a parade to the current site. Set the township hall there. Now the next issue was, after it was cleaned up, fixed up, then the next thing was, what do? We just don't have a historical building sitting there. So then we said, let's open it up for people to come by, to use as they please. People came by, they would sit for quiet time, but then people started bringing books. One book, two books, and then it started being used as a library. Then the township residents decided that they wanted to be part of the district library of Ypsilanti. So they voted to do that. That gave additional resources. The library then opened a room, just a room, right down where the fire station is. And that thing got so much use, we said, we gotta do something more than this. It would be unconscionable not to. I just wanted to tell you how history becomes in things, a seed can be planted and then be born years later. And this will stand as a monument to all of the kinds of things that have happened where people have come together with an idea that a library is a good thing. Just a fact during National Library Week. More people go to libraries than go to movies. 1.3 billion visits to libraries as opposed to 1.2 billion visits to movies. Libraries are important. Let me tell you, there's a professor who teaches library science in the University of South Carolina. His name is David Lanks. And he says this. He said, bad libraries build collections. Good libraries build services. But great libraries build communities. This will be a great library. Now let me stop right there. The last thing I want to do, which is, I can't tell you. I wish I had words to tell you how special it is to introduce. I'm taking a point of privilege, Lisa, because this individual deserves to say a few words, whether he wants to or not. But this is happening because a lot of people came together to make it happen. But this individual is a resident of the township. He learned that this was occurring, and over conversations, over months, he said, look, so me and my family would like to participate in this. So how do we participate? Now, the first thing that came to my mind was money. That's how we can participate. Now, the next issue was, I just simply didn't know how much money to ask for. I didn't know. I knew it was more than $1, Ronnie. So I said, well, we need the help. This project is going to cost between $4.5 and $5.5 million. We need this to happen. And he said, what about me and my family donate $400,000? I said, really? I said, okay, I think that will work. And he said, wait, there's a proviso here. He said, I want some of this $400,000 to be used as a matching grant to spur others to contribute. I'd like to ask Bill Young to come to the mic and just say hello and talk a little bit about what this project means to you.
David, you are bad. You surprise me every day. Of course, today is exceptional. He never quits. He never quits, and doing all the good things that have happened. We've already had a long participation here. I'm not going to take much time, but I just want to say that Viv and I, we're proud to be part of this community. We have a tremendous amount of friendships throughout, no matter where you come from, what you do, what your job is, what your background is. There's not a better community that I've ever experienced than this community of Superior Township. And the leadership is terrific. So, and I did have a lot of fun, Dave, because Dave become another year older. And he didn't give me any notice. And that was a week ago last Wednesday. Little Dave know we can make a birthday party happen real fast. And we did it. So I know, like yourselves, I'm very proud. Coming by here, I will go out of my way as I see this construction going, like most all of you will, to watch this wonderful arch of knowledge, teaching, and support, not just for the kids, which are very important, but this will be a headquarters in a learning way that will certainly excite all of us and all of those who live in this great township. So again, thanks, Dave. Thanks for all that everybody's done here, and let's let this program continue. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah. Hi. So my name is Alea. I've been going to this library since as long as I can remember, and my best friend Mariah, she just moved in, so she never got a chance to go to this library. And I'm really excited that we both get a chance to ride our bikes and come here on a warm, rainy, or sunny day. And I really appreciate everybody who came out here and this is amazing. And we get a new library and new friends, and they asked me to do a speech here, as many of you may know, well, everybody. And so what I came up with was unity, and because a lot of people, no matter what your background, race, religion is, this is a place where we can all be friends and just get along. So everybody have a blessed day.
So I need all of the library board members, the township board members, and Mary Garbodin to come forward and help us break ground.
You want me to zoom out if we need to? Let me know. Okay. I think it's a good time. I'll just do it.
Hey there, I'm told that Sue Schink from the Washtenaw County Commission just arrived. Welcome, Sue. Thanks for joining us.
Are we throwing?
Could I get members of the outreach team to come up? So Stacy, Ken, Liz, Nicole, Kai.
We'd also like to do a shot with all of the speakers from today, if you could come forward for a moment.
So grab a helmet or grab a shovel and maybe be on the other side.
We have to get this done so Debbie can go. Bye-bye. Are we missing anything? at me. If you can't see me, we can't see you. Go ahead, Dixie. And then one more with y'all standing still.
All right, are we done?
One more, look at me. Thank you. Travel safely and take care.